So these guys here today, we recruited them back in 2013, so we've got a group of about 250 people from across Greater Sydney, so a demographically representative group. And we've taken this group through 3 rounds of workshops now. So we've done 3 rounds of 7 workshops, or 21 workshops across the Greater Sydney region.
I do think my views are being heard. It's actually good to be part of a dialogue with government bodies. It's good to actually feel engaged as a member of the community, and to feel like that an individual can make have some input.
And just sort of getting that chance to get into the mindset of what Sydney will look like in 50 years, and just talking about and bouncing ideas back and forth about what we as a group want, and made me sort of think about what I want for the future, what I want for that. And that's certainly, it was very good to sort of just A, to hear people, and B, to sort of spur some further ideas of my own.
For me to be heard, just at my level of thinking, I feel like I've conveyed something small for your bigger world. So what you do from my little words, I think helps to make it bigger for you guys and bigger for the community as a whole. And community as a whole to me is the world.
The way in which our water is monitored, where our water comes from, and was quite an eye-opener for me, because you just don't have time to drill through all that information to sort of get that. And then subsequent, workshops were really asking us specific questions, getting us to interact more, right up to this level where we really had a much better opportunity to use that information that we got from those earlier workshops to think about the directions that we felt that you should be thinking in terms of policy making and policy proposals when you go to your stakeholders.
And today was kind of the culmination, really, of this cycle of engagement we've done with this particular representative group. And we brought them together in a slightly different space, and for the first time we brought together all representatives from each of the regions that we've been working in and that we've recruited community members from, looking at creating future visions for water in Greater Sydney.
Before today, we all thought of our own areas. So I come from the designated eastern suburbs, where we don't really think about what's happening in Western Sydney. But the fact that everyone has been brought together today, I think has just changed everything into, just raised the awareness level so much higher. More concern as to what happens out down south or in the north. So I think that's the big plus today.
Yeah, so the themes that we got to this afternoon to work up scenarios around were healthy green cities.
50 years time, who knows, they could be all interactively wired to share water to the building that needs it the most.
Balance, healthy green cities, smart choices in terms of planning and infrastructure.
The second theme was around high-tech and innovation in relation to how we manage and use water.
I just had a smart house concept, inbuilt recycling, rerouting of water, so that it's not like an effort to then go and have to like fit something, it's just part of the house.
What about through exposure?
So it's something about something about information getting to community.
Through imagery or...
So through those 3 themes, we took those and worked through a bit of a narrative statement around them to describe what made those up.
Healthy green Sydney, and something that emerged from out of that was the idea of balance. And so it's a delicate and strong balance, I guess, as well across many different areas. We did talk a lot about the green spaces, the positivity of green spaces for relaxing, for community, to promote health as well, if everyone can get out and about. Strategic planning that makes sense is different. It'll be different in different parts of the city. Skyscrapers, because we talked about Central Park, to low res, with good public transport everywhere. Noting that it's not just about water, it's about how everything fits together.
Alita was there sketching all afternoon and picking up all the various elements that we were talking about. So now we have these complementary things. We have a narrative statement around each theme, worked through with our guys here, and we have these supporting works of art, which are going to be really wonderful to bring these future statements to life.
So this is the Healthy Green Sydney. Key elements are pretty much, you were talking in a very systems way, and which was great, very holistic.
Centralisation for electricity and stuff, right from the get-go when they
I've certainly got a really good feeling that I'm actually doing something. It's all well and good to talk about, you know, council needs to do this, government needs to do this, but in this instance I feel like I'm actually contributing, and it's a way of making something happen. So my voice is heard, and it's worth it purely just for that, I think, yeah.
I would encourage anyone to do this, and I can assure you it's not about the money or whatever you're offering on the table. Because first and foremostly, I do find it informative. I want the water to be clean. I want it to be cheap. And I want young people educated, so when they get to what they now consider the ageing population, they will know that they've got a generation after them, or two, and it's already implied, it's already happening, the clean water, and it's still going, and recycled, or whatever we can do that keeps water on this planet. Because without the water on this planet, let's face it, we're all dead.
I would certainly always, if they ask me is it worthwhile going, I would go yes. One, you come away with a much better and clearer information package about Sydney's water, the management of Sydney's water, the future of Sydney's water, but that the key, I think, is that you guys get across very clearly a really deep-seated concern for community opinion. Because as you know, if you develop a policy and you go to your stakeholders and the community's not with you, it's not going to work.